Hello, winners, and welcome back. In this lesson, we're going to discuss from hustler to CEO, boss mindset shifts. Why the hustle isn't enough. Hustling will get you noticed, but hustling alone won't get you free nor far. The hustle is about doing everything yourself, grinding nonstop, and surviving on energy drinks. The CEO mindset is about strategy, leadership, and systems that make money while you rest. This audio ebook will show you the mindset shifts every boss must make to move from hustler to CEO. Let's discuss the shift from doing everything to actually delegating. Hustlers believe if I don't do it, it won't get done. Meanwhile, CEOs believe if I can systemize it, if I can automate it, it will get done. Plus, it'll get done without me. So, whenever you have the opportunity, I want you to start delegating. Even if the person you delegated to, they don't do everything as perfectly as you would. Let's first begin by delegating your administration work, maybe your bookkeeping or repetitive tasks, such as frequently asked questions and responding to those emails. You can invest in tools which will teach you in the Boss Nurse Academy or virtual assistants. Yes, we utilize VAs all the time. They will help protect your time and protect your energy. Boss wisdom. Every hour you spend on a $10 task is an hour you're not making $1,000 moves. So I need you to delegate so you can focus on doing what you do best. Second, let's shift from short term cash to long term wealth. Yes, we are changing mindsets today. Hustlers chase quick checks. Meanwhile, CEOs build assets that create cash flow. Yes, such as digital products. You can create them once and sell them repeatedly. Licensing. Yes, you can earn from your experience. If you've created a book, if you've created a course, you can license that course out so that other people can utilize it while you maintain ownership and also benefit from the profits. Here's a biggie. You know, I love this one, courses. Scale your knowledge. You're already the content expert. Why are you afraid to be on camera? Why are you afraid to do what I'm doing right now? Talk with the camera off. Look, there are no excuses, you all. You can do an audio book. You can do a digital book. You have to do something. Otherwise, you are burying your talent. And we don't do that here. Intellectual property is another way that you can create long term wealth. Your website, your trademark, your YouTube channel, all that builds lasting value. Whenever you start creating your succession plan, that will be something that could be sold in addition to your brick and mortar location with all of your furnitures and fixtures. So I need for you to be thinking long term. It's just not about the short term cash. That's cute. That's nice. Yes, we need it. But if you want to sell your business 20 years from now, you invested a lot of money, but do you have anything to show for it 20 years later? So let's shift our mindsets. Boss wisdom, hustlers survive while CEOs scale. Number three, let's shift from being reactive to being proactive. I run my business off of models, not off of a business plan. And so, based on those models, if there is a change in the industry, we pivot within 2 to 3 weeks. We're very proactive. Anticipate, plan, and pivot. Here's something else that hustlers do. They spend money, then figure out how to pay for it. No, we don't do that. We have the CEO mindset. The CEO doesn't just put out fires, the CEO prevents them. Number four, shift from the employee mindset to the ownership mindset. I want to share with you a short story. I owned a commercial building that was relatively small, but I made a lot of money in this building, in this location. I know you don't have to start with some big office. I've worked at colleges, I've worked at large institutions, and usually half of the building is unoccupied. I don't want that in my life. That to me, that's a waste of money. So there was a nurse who came in to tour the facility, and she looked underwhelmed. She looked as if I did not know what I was doing. And she said, "Well, I thought your facility would be bigger than this." And she started telling me about her location and her building. And then I asked a question. I said, "Well, are you renting or do you own?" She proudly said she was renting. And I said, "Oh, I own this." That's the ownership mindset. She was so big on trying to minimize what I had done until she didn't see that she wasn't getting a true return on her investment. So now let's talk about the differences between hustlers and CEOs. Hustlers still think like employees. They're clocking hours, waiting for permission. They're renting versus buying. Meanwhile, CEOs know they own the results, the risk, the rewards, and the building. Hustlers ask, "Can I do this?" CEOs say, "This gets done." You don't punch the clock, you are the clock. A lot of us leave whatever careers we have. We don't want to work 8 hours for someone else. We don't want to work 12 hours for someone else. And then we have our own business and we end up working 16 hours. But it's 16 hours, it's ours. And we get a return on our investment. We're able to create generational wealth that we can pass down to our children's children. So whenever you're shifting from an employee mindset to an ownership mindset, that is when you really understand and you start transitioning from being an employee to a CEO. Oh, this one is good. Number 5, shift from scarcity to abundance. Hustlers think, "I can't afford this." CEOs ask, "How can I afford this?" Hustlers avoid opportunities. Meanwhile, CEOs leverage opportunities. If I don't teach you anything else, you're always going to have an ask for an ask. At the end of any presentation, any video, any speech, have a call to action. Remember, sometimes you're not getting the sale simply because you're not asking for it, or you're not getting a referral, leveraging opportunities, because you don't open your mouth and tell people what you need or who you need to meet. Boss wisdom. The hustler feels investment. The CEOs multiply it. Number 6, shift from working in the business to working on the business. Hustlers are buried in daily tasks. They're drowning. CEOs focus on vision, growth, and direction. So I need for you to step back weekly to review your systems, your revenue, and your strategy. You have to be involved in your business. If something isn't working, you fix it, you delegate, you outsource, but you are responsible for your business's growth. And then build space for big picture thinking. And don't tell your big ideas to anyone who does not have the capacity to understand them or to support you as you try to achieve them. Boss wisdom. If you're always in the weeds, you'll never grow in the garden. 7, I hope you're enjoying this lesson as much as I am enjoying teaching it. Let's shift from being busy to being productive. Hustlers brag about being booked and busy. You're going to see that all over social media. CEOs care about being profitable and balanced. Yes, I don't want to be booked and busy anymore. I want to be profitable. I want to shoot a video or two once or twice a week. I want to go for walks. I want to have time with my friends. I want to spend time with my family. That's balance. So hustlers measure hours worked and tasks completed. Meanwhile, CEOs measure results and outcome, not just output. They prioritize high impact activities that move the business forward rather than merely filling their schedules. Boss wisdom. Busy is a badge. Productive is a profit. Don't confuse activity with achievement. Productivity drives success. Trying to be busy going forth, your goal is to be productive. Final word, claim your CEO seat. You can hustle your way into starting a business, but you'll never hustle your way into scaling one. To grow beyond survival, you must change the way you think, speak, and act. CEOs don't just hustle harder, they hustle smarter. So ask yourself, are you working like an employee in your own business or leading like the CEO you are called to be? We have so much to learn in the Boss Nurse Academy Masterclass. You all, I appreciate you, and I will see you in the next lesson.